Chances are, if you've been paying attention to Spider-Man stuff all this year, the name Miles Morales has come up. After all, it's been a pretty big year for Spider-Man fans. Between Pete's new suit in Infinity War, the release of Insomniac's Spider-Man video game, the Venom live-action movie, and now the upcoming Into the SpiderVerse animated movie. And Miles has come up in 2 of the 4. Not a bad ratio for the new kid on the block.
Officer, I love you.
Wait, what?
Miles may not quite be at Peter Parker levels of name recognition just yet, but he's well on his way, which means it's time to sit down and take a look at just who this new Spider Kid actually is, where he comes from, and most importantly, where he's headed. But first, make sure to hit that subscribe button where we got you covered for comic deep dives, TV breakdowns, and movie reviews. Introduced in 2011 with Ultimate Fallout No. 4, Miles originally made his home in what's known as the Ultimate Marvel Universe, an alternate reality full of alternate versions of classic Marvel heroes, set outside the traditional Marvel continuity. The idea behind the Ultimate line was to give people who hadn't read decades worth of back issues a line of books they could, in theory, pick up at number 1 and not worry about it. So they typically featured retellings of origin stories, slightly modified characterizations, totally new takes on villains, you name it. In the Ultimate Universe, Norman Osborn and a team of scientists have been studying Peter Parker's blood in an attempt to reverse engineer his abilities by genetically altering spiders. Miles' uncle Aaron, a thief and low-grade supervillain named Prowler, broke into the lab and stole the formula, unknowingly giving the modified spider a ride out of his duffel bag in the process. Later, when Miles goes to visit his uncle's apartment, the spider stowaway skitters out of hiding and bites him. Miles, quickly realizing he's suddenly got a whole bunch of weird superpowers to deal with, actually decides that it would be best to lay low and pretend nothing is wrong. He'll leave the superheroics to the actual superheroes, thank you very much. At least that is until Peter Parker is killed. After witnessing the tragedy, Miles realizes that he may have been able to do something had he actually embraced his new abilities and stepped in his own variation of the great power, great responsibility awakening, and decides to take up a costume and figure this whole Spider-Man thing out. Miles' powers are basically the same as Pete's. He's got a spidey sense to alert him of danger, enhanced reflexes and strength, the ability to cling to walls, and he even comes into possession of Pete's old web shooters, a gift from Aunt May so he can go swinging around New York just like the original. However, in addition to the standard Peter skill set, Miles has the ability to create venom blasts that can knock people he touches unconscious. Miles also has the ability to camouflage himself, rendering his body invisible to the naked eye.
Vanisher! Ha! Nice!
Right? He's not here, is he? He may be running late.
Originally clad in a store-bought Spider-Man Halloween costume, Miles takes to the streets to carelessly fight off low-level crime for about a day before he attracts the attention of Peter's remaining friends, family, and superheroic co-workers, who take to the arrival of the new kid about as well as you might expect at first. Spider-Woman, a member of the Ultimates, think the Ultimate Universe version of the Avengers, arrests Miles and brings him to S.H.I.E.L.D., where he's questioned by Nick Fury, who eventually gives him a new, non-Halloween quality costume in his own red and black color scheme. For several years, Miles' story continued in the Ultimate Universe where he met and came up against new incarnations of some of Peter's classic foes, as became more and more established as a hero in his own right, at least until 2015. That's when a massive crossover event called Secret Wars took hold of the Marvel Universe, and multiple realities and timelines came crashing together, in the same vein as the classic DC Comics Crisis-style story. This meant that the characters from the Ultimate Universe were transported into the mainline Marvel Universe, or Marvel 616 permanently. No longer sequestered in his own timeline, Miles took up the role of Spider-Man next to an active Peter Parker, meaning that there have been 2 Spider-Man simultaneously swinging through the Marvel Universe for the past few years, right alongside all of the other Spider people in the mix for a whole family of Spider and Spider-adjacent heroes.
Dimension opening now.
You're like me.
That's impossible.
Ironically, the opposite of Miles' dimension hopping in Secret Wars is the core conceit of Into the SpiderVerse, which features an alternate reality Peter Parker being sucked into Miles' reality after a major cosmic catastrophe shuffles the deck. While it's not clear whether Into the SpiderVerse is officially set in the animated version of the Ultimate Universe, or if the deadbeat midlife crisis Peter Parker that winds up training him is supposed to be from the Marvel 616 universe, the concept is still pretty much the same. Miles and Peter wind up teaming up side by side along with a slew of other Spider characters who also happen to be shuffled around the reality warping event.
Do animals talk in this dimension? Because I don't want to freak them out.
In addition to his role in the Spider-Man video game and his upcoming starring role in Into the Spider-Verse, Miles has a brand new solo ongoing comic, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, heading for shelves this December. So it's pretty safe to say that you'll want to keep an eye out on Miles, especially if you're a Spider-Man fan. He's really going places. Thanks for watching, everyone. Let us know if you're excited for Into the Spider-Verse in the comment section down below. And as always, keep tuned to GameSpot Universe. Bye-bye.